What is going on, good people? This is your man, Gavin the Bossman Stevenson. I'm sitting here with my co-host,
Chris Cubano Cabrera.
and you are sitting here with Savages with Cigars. We are sitting in the beautiful Cozy Lounge Cigar Bar on West Bay Drive, 198 West Bay Drive. That's in Largo, the biggest humidor in the city. Now, I know you guys got a little bit of a gist of what we're going to do for this podcast on the last one. This one is going to be a little different.
A little bit different.
So, the topic of the day is, Chris,
Can a relationship go back to normal after someone cheats?
I say yes.
How? Man, we're going to have to get into that because how?
I knew you was going
I'm
to say
going to
that.
say no.
And I knew you were going
I'm
to say
going
that.
to have to
I
say
knew
that.
you were going to say
Yeah.
that. You know, because you know what, Chris? You know why I can say that? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a stepper. I will say, listen, when it comes to a relationship, if it's good, it's good. I'm with it. But when it turns bad, Chris, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
You're right. So if it's going good, why would they have cheated to begin with?
Right. So, like me, if I don't get what I want, Chris, I'm out of here, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna get up out of this situation. I'm gonna go test the water somewhere else, and that's my problem.
So then you're kind of regressing then. So then that means no, you can't be back to a normal relationship.
Well, it depends on the people
If they
that
cheated
you,
on
but it depends on the people that you're dealing with. Now, I'm not gonna say of the cheater, because I'm gonna tell you 9 times out of 10, I'm the cheater. I'm gonna be real with you. I told you, Chris, I wasn't gonna sugarcoat this one. I've talked to some people today, and they were like, "No, you are not gonna say that." I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is why we are on this thing, man. We are on here to speak the truth, speak our
Very much
minds
so, yes.
in a man type of form. So that's what I'm doing, Chris.
I've been married twice.
Right.
Never cheated on either one of my wives.
Chris, you had a good thing going on, bro.
Now, relationship-wise, may I have cheated a couple times here and there? Absolutely.
Were you running the streets, Chris? You were running, weren't you?
Man, I drive. I can't run. You can tell I don't run no more. But no. So even when I was owning the club, the Gentleman's Club, there was no time in that club that I was cheating on anybody. Then again, I was single.
Mm-hmm.
However, my second wife came into that picture, and did I have the opportunity to? Every single night. Did I?
single night.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Why? Because your relationship is going to be built on loyalty, faith, trust. It takes a lot to build those 3 things. So the moment that one person steps out of that relationship and goes and gives themselves to another individual, and let's say a week later they're like, "Oh my God, I messed up. I should have never done this." Da, da, da. You took all of that time that it took to build the love, the trust, the faith in that person, and threw it out the window. You can't just come
You're
back
right.
and go,
You're right. You can't come
you know
back.
what?
So it's
you
a
can
work in
forgive,
progress.
but you're never going to forget.
But yes, it's a work in progress, and you have to be dealing with somebody that actually wants to reconcile that relationship.
Absolutely, it's going to take both people.
Right.
Both people have to be willing to say, you know what?
Fucked up.
If we're going to be together, we're going to have to get past this. We're going to
Now,
have to
and
forgive
then-
each other and or forgive the other person,
Right.
and forget it. The problem is, it's not that easy.
It's not.
I mean, I can't even throw out percentages, but in my head, I would say maybe 1 to 3% could possibly do it. But it's because you're going to have to work 2 to 3 times harder in that same relationship that a couple weeks ago
Was an easy thing.
was easy.
Yep.
You
was
already
easy thing.
figured each other out. You two were already doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were, meshing, vibing. The relationship was great. However, there must have been something underlying that
Right.
lack of communication
Right.
led to whichever person decided to go cheat.
Right.
Because obviously you can't say it was great, or that person wouldn't have stepped up.
Right. And and then I say this too, Chris. It really takes the will and determination if you really want to do that again, because that person that got cheated on has to start all over again trusting you.
And do
want
you
to
know
be,
how hard it is to start trusting somebody
after
you know that they've been intimate with somebody else? The moment you become intimate with somebody else, you and your mind are going to self-destruct because you're going to remember, or not remember because you weren't there, but you're going to think, was that other person doing the same thing I'm doing? Was she reacting the same way she reacts to me?
Are you going to sit here and
Is
say,
she thinking about him while she's with you?
Are you going to sit here and say, what are they doing that I wasn't doing to make them go that way?
Yes.
And that's a really big factor that we're going to have to step on, because you have to see, it has to be a reason. You know what I mean? Sometimes they say it's not a reason, but 9 times out of 10, there's a reason why that other person stepped out. You know, if they're not getting what they wanted to in the relationship, they're not getting what they wanted to, like physically, emotionally, all them things, because the relationship ties into all that. You're going to get all that.
And you know what's funny is all of that can be circumvented by one word.
What's that?
Communication.
Communication. I'm all for that.
If you're not happy, if you're not getting what you want, if just there's a void there, you can't expect the other person to just know because they're with you. You've got to talk.
So I'm glad you said that. So let me ask you this. What about, well, I'm saying this because I went through it. What about if you communicate,
yes, okay,
and you're still not getting where you need to be at in this relationship?
Then it's simple.
Is it time to go?
You go. You have that one cut.
But what about if you invested in somebody? Because you were invested in somebody, and I was too.
I was. But in that moment, I stayed. Well, I stayed in my relationships. Neither one of them split up because of cheating or whatever. So I can't say that.
But you were invested.
But I was invested. So I know what the investment means. However, I've grown since then. So your self-worth has to be to a point where you can say, no matter what I invested, it should still have been enough to not cheat.
Right.
So my investment is null and void.
Right.
It's like the stock market. Don't invest in it. It's going to crash.
But you know what? Sometimes, you know,
I'd rather keep my money in the safe where it's...
And I'm going to tell you this. You know, one of my problems is always going to be is that I tend to think, I can't say see, I tend to think that the grass is greener on the other side.
Yes.
And you know, they say the grass is greener on the side. But the rebuttal to that is, if you water your grass,
it will be green as well. Now, you know, every human being in every relationship, whether they communicate it or not to their spouse, everybody has those moments where they think the grass is greener on the other side. Or you wouldn't, by nature, be sitting at a table at dinner and a beautiful woman or a handsome-ass man walks by and it catches your eye and you look. Why? Because in your mind, that's the simplest form of the grass is greener on the other side. However, because you have a person sitting next to you that has invested their life into you, that look turns back into, boom, start the conversation wherever you left off, wherever you were at, because that didn't mean anything.
So,
I mean, it is still human nature, but the grass is never going to be greener on the other side. If you got to cheat, you're already setting yourself up for failure for the next person.
Yeah, because you know what? The problem that is that when you have to start all over again with the, hi, my name is such and such.
It's such a tiring... Oh, I'm going to stop from cussing a lot. But it's just super tiring to have to then now start off with, hi, my name is Chris. I'm blah, blah, blah years old. I have blah, blah, blah kids. This is my life. This is when I work. This is when I'm off. This is my hobbies. Blah, blah, blah. Like,
you get tired of saying
I don't want to keep doing that.
You get tired of saying it over and over again, Chris. I know, because I've done it. And I have done it. And it's just, you just want to sit there and get to the point that, you know what, I'm fine whenever. Now, let me say this. I'm going to say this. I'm very fine when everything is going my way, Chris. When everything is going the way that it is, I am gravy. I am happy.
Yep.
But I tell you this, me personally, if I sit here and tell you that I'm not happy, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And I tell you multiple times, and this is coming from a person that is awful at communicating. Any woman that I have ever dealt with says I'm awful at communication, and I am, to a certain point. See, now I'm good at fixing things because all my times I'm always at to fix something. You know what I mean?
Let me throw a curveball at you, because you just said that when it's going your way. So we've only hit on physical cheating, correct? What about emotional cheating?
Oh, that's worse. That's worse.
Let me tell you something. When in my last marriage, I was on top of the world with that club that I was at. I was making more than enough money, a lot of money. I was super fit. I was super confident. Nothing made me believe that I needed anybody's assistance yet. I had a beautiful wife sitting beside me.
I was with him when he was in this stage, and I mean.
So here's the
my man was
curveball.
good.
Here's the curveball. The emotional cheating. I cheated her out of an entire lifetime of what she could have had if we were actually partners together and not me being in control of the situation and being on top of the world.
Right.
So did I emotionally cheat on her? Absolutely. Because I cheated her out of any possibility of an existence on her end.
There's a lot of people that feel that emotional cheating is way worse than physical.
Absolutely.
I feel the same way.
Absolutely. And then, but people don't realize that the word cheating, like we spoke about earlier today, the moment that a random ass number hits you up and says, hey, if I'm in a relationship, a committed relationship, or even a relationship in general, let's just say relationship.
Yep.
I've already committed to this one person. If I don't know that number, why the hell would I respond?
Why would I respond?
And if I respond, I'm cheating, because that's the way I see it.
And I'm gonna tell you this.
And social media, well, say what you gotta say.
I'll tell you this, because you remember, because when I asked that person that, I said, do you think you texting or talking to somebody on the phone is cheating? And I'm gonna sit here.
At first, they said no.
No, they said no. But then I'm gonna tell you, I feel like it is, because that is the gateway.
It opens it up.
It opens up everything that you were thinking about doing. So you gave this person your number.
Yes, because they have it.
You gave this person your number. You may have gave this person your number
a while back.
2 years ago, way back.
And let's say they stalk you on social media. They know you're in a relationship.
Right.
So why respond to that? If you're in a relationship, you don't respond.
Right. So I had to learn that. I had to learn that. And I know that now. So it's like just answering random text messages is a sign of cheating, bro.
Absolutely. The moment that you have to go home and go, oh shit, delete, boom, because you're now around your significant other, you just cheated.
Yep.
Because they should be able to read.
Right.
And you see that's why the emotional cheating, I brought that up, because in my last relationship, that's exactly how it was. We could show each other our phones. There was no nothing, whatever. And because I brought that young lady into my world, which was the gentleman's club industry, and actually a pretty rough one, because it was hood.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll,
Yes.
right?
And because I brought her into that, it's hard for anyone to date two individuals like ourselves, because we were either general managers of gentlemen's clubs or owners or whatever it may be. The immediate thing is, oh, they cheat on everybody because they have the ability to buffet a variety of women.
And you know what? And
We have it. That doesn't mean that we go into it. So what did I do? I signed her into everything because I wanted her to know that in order to build trust in an extremely highly sex-driven industry, the only way to build that trust is to give you everything.
And plus, Chris, you had her around you all the time.
Yeah.
When you guys, I can admit to this, when you guys opened that door, you know, the days you were open, she was right there sitting in the office with you. And that's a great thing.
Yep.
But I'll tell you this, bro. I'm at the point now that I can go through my phone, I can pull my phone up, and I can sit there with somebody and scroll through it and be like this. And just
and not worry about the ding.
And not the ding.
Ding.
I can sit there and watch it. I remember, bro, when I was married, bro.
I already know where you're going.
I couldn't even watch videos because I did not know what was going to pop up or who was going to pop up or what they may see come up my phone. Now I can sit there all night long and be like, you could be laying behind me, I can be just like this. Not worried about, hey babe, you see this video?
And do you know, in my head, I'm thinking one of the main reasons people cheat is because you're in a relationship, you get comfortable, you enjoy everything that's going on, but you always have those people on the outside that only come around when you're in a relationship. And you know what? I don't know if it's the universe or what it could be, But you ever notice the moment you slip on a ring or you publicize on social media that you're in a relationship, whatever, the moment it gets out there, women are attracted to you.
Right.
And they immediately start hitting on you. Oh, da 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 da. Most men, and I hate to say this, indulge in that because they like the attention or whatever the case may be. You got to realize you're opening that door to controversy, and that's cheating right then and there.
I'll tell you this. This is gonna blow your mind. So you know as well as I do, when you put that ring on, that is the biggest female attraction getter, bro.
Absolutely.
When I used to wear my wedding ring all the time, it was like it had a big sign over my head saying, "Hey, he's married, ladies. What y'all gonna
Yeah.
do?"
Obviously, he's doing good, and he's got a woman. So let me sneak in there and see what in the world he's got, because maybe I can interrupt that. But you understand that that woman that just, let's say that you completely ruin a relationship over that woman, and that woman comes into your life, and now you think, oh my God, I got her, and I'm badass. Da, da, da. Do you know that the moment that she has an opportunity, she's going to open that line of communication with somebody else,
Right.
and leave you the way she came in and got you?
Because my mom always,
And men are vice versa. So let me say this,
Right.
because we're definitely not going to be all attacking women or attacking men. Men do the exact same thing. So whatever I say, I really mean it. Vice versa with both things, because the way you met a man is the way you're going to lose that man. If you got him because you were cheating, that man is going to leave you when he cheats the next person.
don't worry about it. They're back there talking cigars. Hey, hey, shut the fuck up. Thank you.
But yes, I mean, it's cheating has become such a norm, and it's the easiest way for somebody to get out. And I hate that. I hate that because it takes away the fight, the drive. Like, the perfect example I can say of this is my mom corrected me from our last podcast. She's married 46 years.
Okay. We're sorry, Mom.
And the reason she takes pictures of her food is because the woman can't throw down, and she cooks, and she loves to show what she can do.
I'm waiting for a plate.
So there you go, Mom. There's your plug. You owe me $10 when I get home.
Mrs. Cabrera, I'm waiting for a plate. I'm waiting. I'll be here.
But let me tell you something. So they got to 46 years. Why? Because they never once stopped working on each other.
Right.
No matter how rough things got, no matter how much they may have hated each other through the years, or had arguments or whatever the case may be, they were always able to come back and say, you know what, we're still the Cabreras.
Right.
And I never had to grow up with a divorced household. Now,
Right.
is a divorced household bad?
No.
I can't say that, no, because me and my first wife divorced, and my two beautiful daughters are doing phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
And it took a little extra work from her and I because we were separated, but it worked. The good thing is
let me interrupt you real quick, because you're gonna leave this, and I want to be able to say it right now. Do you feel that the situation that you're in now with your ex-wife, you are better with you two are better now than
we
you
are
were before?
we are best of friends at this point.
Me
We are
and mine
better.
are too.
We're better where we're at than we were. The good thing is our kids didn't have to eventually realize, oh, the reason they split up is because of cheating.
Right.
We grew apart. We were
Mhm.
together 17 years. We grew apart, and we had to go our separate ways for those reasons. And it was rough at first.
Right.
That's 17 years.
Right.
But it all worked out for the best. We're doing great. We co-parented perfectly,
Right.
and our daughters love every bit
Yes.
of
I
it.
say you got your one daughter. She's very successful.
Yes. Yep.
She's got her own nail business, and she's doing great things. I just plugged you in. I need my $10 now.
Now my other daughter, that girl can save beyond saving. I'm not going to even reveal what she has for savings because
Yes.
she doesn't have her own business. She's 18 years old, but that girl has more money in her savings account than I could ever imagine an 18-year-old.
Right.
Just bought herself a 2024 Hyundai.
You say it wasn't a Sonata.
No, it was the SUV. Not to tell you right, but Palisade.
Palisade.
So
That's a
that's a
nice car.
$65,000 vehicle.
That's a
I'm not trying to throw
nice
numbers
car.
out there. What I'm saying is both those girls grew up because me and their mom decided to work together
Work together.
and
Co-parent.
not put anything
Co-parent.
negative into the way that they were raised.
Co-parent is a beautiful thing when you're able to do it right.
When you do split up because of cheating, there's so much animosity there that you don't give the opportunity for your kids to see that there's a better way that things could have been dealt with because there was cheating involved.
Right.
Cheating, people don't realize once you cheat, especially when there's kids involved, you break down way too many lives.
Bro, let me tell you something.
When all it could have been was you communicate.
I know.
But
I did that.
But cheat and have to split up, I can't always say is the wrong way to go, because the moment that you cheat, if you know you can't make anything bad about or good about it, leave each other alone.
It's easy.
Never revisit it. Never whatever. The only exception to that is if you have kids. Obviously, if you got kids, you're going to not only have to leave each other alone.
Yep.
Don't ever talk about that moment.
Nope.
Or express anything in front of your kids.
And that's what I was about to say. I was about to say that. That's a good point you brought that up, because if you are going to say, let's reconcile, let's be together, you got to understand, yes, you may not have not forgotten, but you have to forgive.
Yes.
Now, the thing is...
And it can never be used against the other person to
And that's
say
what
them
happens.
in an argument.
That's what happens every time.
Yep.
You'll sit there, you'll be sitting there and talking, oh, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that when you cheated.
And right when that first argument happens is when the other person should go, you know what? Now it's over.
Now it's done.
Because it's not going to work.
It's
because
never
we're going
gonna
to
work.
use, this is going to be used against me.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every time.
And
we
then you
talk,
know what you
we're
do?
gonna
If
say
you have
that.
kids involved, they're seeing that.
Right. And that's what I told mine. I said, you know what? I can leave before we sit here and go through the motions and act like we want to be back together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We want to do this again, because you're going to be mad at me. I'm not going to hear that bullshit that you're saying.
Yep.
And like I said, that's the type of guy I am.
Yep.
You know, so that's another thing that I wanted to make sure that I emphasized on, or we emphasized on, is that if you're going to say, oh, I want to do this and I want to try to fix this, you cannot use that old shit on them, because that's what happens in the relationship.
That's why I told you, this time around, you have to work twice as hard for the exact same relationship that you once had. Because now you're dealing with all of those, especially men. You know, men will grab those theories in their head like, she just went to the store, but you don't trust her enough. No matter how much you try, you're still going to have that thought, is she giving her number out right now?
Right.
Or if she wants to have a girls' night out. Like, you just don't know.
Right. You just don't know.
And you're going to self-destruct.
You're gonna,
and you're going to inadvertently be miserable.
You're gonna make yourself miserable.
And what happens when you're miserable?
Everybody else around you.
Everybody else around you is miserable.
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. That's my strong point. I tell people all the time, if I'm unhappy, I will turn this motherfucker into Vietnam, bro.
Yeah.
I will make it rough in here. I'll make everybody miserable. I'll make everybody trying to get the hell up out of here. And that's always been my problem. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you this, Chris. You know, every time, and I hate that I did this and I've done this, but every time that something has gone bad, I'm not gonna lie to you, I played the victim card.
Oh, absolutely.
I pulled it. But
you know what that makes you in today's society of these younger people throwing out this one specific word at you?
Toxic.
Okay, maybe two
words.
Now you're a narcissist.
Yes.
I wish that people that use that word can actually be like, you know what? All right, let me give you a 20-question quiz and see if you can actually pass it, to know that are you using that word properly.
Right.
Oh, and then they messed around and went and read something on Google, and what did it throw out? Gaslighting. Do you even know what gaslighting is?
You know what? Please explain.
You know what? We'll save that for another.
Yes, because I tell you, I think my definition is different than a lot of other people's definition. So we'll save that one for later on.
Yeah,
because
we're gonna mess this one up.
We're gonna mess this one up because we're gonna think that everybody thinks that, oh, he's a guy, this and that. Yeah. And can I be called a narcissist? Yes, when I used to pull that card. I used to pull it every time. Well, the reason I ran the streets is because of this. But Chris, there's really no reason.
There isn't.
Because you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I messed up a lot because I did not realize what them vows meant.
Yeah.
When you're
basically
married,
your loyalty wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
It wasn't directed 100% at your spouse.
I want to tell you this. I can't say I got married young because I didn't. I got married
when I
in my
say
20s.
spouse partner. Whatever.
Yeah, but you know, I wanted to still run the streets because of the industry that I was in. But when I got older, I told myself like, hey, I don't want to do this like that no more. I want to calm down on this.
Yep.
I want to be the man that I'm supposed to be.
And you know, there's so many people out there that will talk to you, tell you what it is, tell you not to cheat, don't do these things because it's going to lead to cheating, all those things. Never once did I listen to any of that.
Those are the worst to listen to.
The moment that I started getting older and older, and you know, inadvertently lost 2 relationships, marriages per se, because I didn't have the knowledge I have today. Sucks, but you know what? I'm glad that I'm here today, being able to say, look, I understand what the hell I did. Thank God it wasn't cheating.
Right.
But I got out before I got to that point.
Right. I'm gonna tell you this. I got one for you. I got one for you. Can a person that has never, so I'm gonna tell you truthfully, if you have never been married or you have never been in the situation that I'm dealing with, you can't tell me shit.
No.
I'm sorry, you can't tell me anything. You can't say, oh, you need to do this. No, you can't tell me shit because you haven't been in this situation.
I've been there and done that. So if I was the one coming at you, I can say, hey,
you can say that, right?
You saw what the heck I just
seen
did.
it. I took the ride with you.
Now I am going to say one thing because I don't think I've clearly made it evident of my answer to this whole thing. Maybe you could have already picked it up by the way that I've been explaining this stuff, but can I go back to a relationship after? Can I know a relationship after somebody cheated?
No.
Absolutely not. The moment that she cheats or I cheat, I'm going to come back and say, I can no longer be with you because I did exactly what our vows said we shouldn't do to each other. Or in a relationship, there's no vows, but you just know that there's unwritten rules that you don't do. I'm not going to try because there's no reason to try. I'm not that person that's going to work twice as hard when there's 3 billion women out there.
Yes.
And I don't expect the woman that I cheated on to stay with me because there's probably 2 billion men out there. You know, there's no reason to continue the stress, the
anguish,
the sadness, whatever the hell comes with cheating. I don't want to go through any of that because you're going to continue to self-destruct being around that person. You're going to be miserable. Y'all are not going to achieve anything. Your goals are going to be put on pause.
Chris,
and you're going to lose little bits of everything. Not only you're going to lose a little bit of financial, you're going to lose a bit of spirituality, you're going to lose a lot of emotion.
Then you got the woman saying, what did I was perfect, what did I do wrong? Now you got a person that is so self-conscious that
well, that conversation probably make me leave her anyway because she said she was perfect.
No, I'm not talking about perfect, but you know what I'm talking about. But she's going to be so self-conscious at this point in time that she's going to be like, do I even want to deal with that? Is this what I want to put in my life?
That's what I'm saying. So it's twice the amount of work. Now the stress levels are much different, and it's going to affect everything. You know, it's going to not only are the 3 factors that I said, or the 3 key areas that it's going to affect, but it's also going to affect you at work. It's going to affect you when, let's say you're driving down the road and someone flicks you off. Because you're already in that negative mindset, you're going to get road rage, or you're going to whatever. Or when a cop decides he wants to arrest you for something stupid, now you're going to get battery on the Leo because you're in such a bad mood that you're not just going to go silently. You know, it affects everything.
Everything. Shit. So, you know, I'll tell you this: when you sit here and you narrow down the field of is it worth to cheat?
Absolutely not.
No, it's not.
Not one bit. Not one bit. It is better to communicate the negativity to your partner, and even if it still led to y'all breaking up that same day after that conversation.
Well, what about Chris? If you got years, Chris? If you got years,
then that's where you two have to say we need to work. And if you can't work through it, then you go get counseling. You go find some sort. Go to church. Bring God into your life. Go get a counselor. Don't revert to alcohol and drugs because it isn't going to work out anyway.
At all.
But that's when there's years of a relationship, marriage, whatever the case may be. You two have to understand that you love each other enough. Underlying inside of that person is still the love, the compassion, the why you fell in love with that person, so on and so forth. You got to go down there and get that back. Bring it back to the surface because you're going to need that to get through this phase of cheating.
You got to travel that road that you're not prepared
very
to
uncomfortable
travel.
road.
It's going to be very uncomfortable. I'm telling you, it was so bad for me, Chris, that when I ran the streets of my wife's room, like I was we could be sitting there watching the movie. Is that how you did it?
Oh yes.
Oh, that's how
Man,
you did
I'm
it.
so glad you brought that up. Or you watch a movie that inadvertently is about cheating, and that they got so much of that shit, especially Hallmark or whatever the thing. They make so many movies now where they're like metaphorically putting it into your brain how to cheat, how to get away with it. You might not be realizing it, but you're watching something that is hitting the back of your brain and writing those subliminal messages, and you just don't realize it until you start acting upon them.
So it was funny. So on the previous podcast that I had, I was talking to Lady J, and we were talking about something in this area, right? Shout out to Lady J. And it was so bad, bro, I couldn't even watch Law and Order.
So you started watching Dexter?
I had to watch something else, bro. It was so bad. Cause you know, Law and Order, SVU, they did a lot of cheating on it. The men were running the streets on the women, and every time they would do that, it'll be the most uncomfortable stare in that room.
Imagine if you watched the show Cheaters. You would probably both of y'all be fighting.
Bro, can you imagine being on that show, bro?
Fine. I'm a lost individual right now. You got my damn pot stirred right now.
Right, can you imagine being on Cheaters and they pop up on you? Well, I feel sorry for them guys sometimes, especially with the women. Because the women, I ain't gonna lie to you, a lot of the guys, they just cheating. They you know what I mean, they get a little kiss and go home, blah, blah, blah. Bro, these women that be in the back of these cars, bro.
But, I was just gonna say that. If you watch that show from now on and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Men get caught inside of a house or a restaurant.
In the back of a car, bro.
Cars. Women always get caught in the back of a car.
Always.
What
Always. So
you left a man that has a house, that y'all have a house together with, big ass swimming pool,
Right.
whatever the case may
Right.
be, and you want to cheat on him in the back of a Toyota Corolla?
That's crazy to me, bro. That is so crazy to me. Like,
You know what? Keep him.
Yeah, I would say
him.
keep him.
You can keep her because obviously her taste is in a Corolla.
Yes, because I told you.
I don't mean anything bad to anybody who owns a Toyota Corolla. Beautiful cars, go Toyota.
So it's funny because you sit there and I say it all the time to people. Like, you'll be sitting there and next thing you know, they'll be back there and they run up on the car and the woman's half naked in the back of the car. The man, he's in the house. He's in the bowling alley. He's in a restaurant. He's this. But every time, and I ain't gonna lie to you, them women be able to give it up quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me throw something else at you. You made me cheat.
Oh God.
You made me cheat.
I made the worst decision in my life to say that one time. I tell you, Chris, I will never say it again. That was one of the worst arguments that I've probably been in my life. And I mean, y'all don't understand. I've dealt with 30 drunk strippers at one time fighting.
We both have.
Yes. So to deal with one woman that is sober, sane, and has a mouth that's sharp as a razor.
But you come with the fact that there's love, time, building of your structure of your relationship makes that argument even more intense.
But you know what? Because I understand where the women are coming from when it happened. I understand now because you gotta understand, a female, when she loves, she puts her whole heart into that love.
And I'm going to tell you what, I've had both marriages be exactly that. I can never downplay the fact that those two women did not love me hard as can be. Those two women gave it their all.
I mean, they'll go through the things that you think nobody will ever go through. They will go through the struggles, the heartache, all that stuff. It's been women around here that sit here and you'll be like, what in the hell? Like, you'll ask yourself and you want to ask them, what the hell do you see in me to make you want to keep on this shit? Because a lot of men will be like, fuck this, I'm out.
Right.
Fuck this up. women will be like, first they'll be like, yeah, you can do that, yeah, we can do this, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're gonna sit here and say, oh no, what am I supposed to do with everything that we have put together? Because you feel like you've ruined that.
And mess around and be married. And now you have a judge telling you, that house y'all bought, you two can't decide where it's going to go.
I'll decide.
Sell it. Split it. Mm-hmm. You tear up so much. Even the damn dog.
But then you think about it. Then after it's said and done, and all right, so after it's said and done, you got caught, right? You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, what you did has been revealed, correct? What is crazy about the whole situation is now you have to sit here and the starting all over is the worst part, bro. I'm telling you.
Yes, because it's the worst part if you go into it too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, once you cheat, you lose a relationship, so on and so forth. I hated everybody telling me, oh, you got to find yourself. I know who the fuck I am. Well, no. Now I realize from going through all of that, I'm obviously not cheating, but still losing a relationship, in this case, even if it's cheating, until you really stop and get yourself together again and get yourself back, like, here I am back again. I was bodybuilding like crazy. I was exactly where I wanted to be. My relationship's over. Obviously not because of cheating. So I am going a little bit off topic when I say that, but the point is that now you're back in a position where you got to work on yourself again, physically, emotionally, mentally. It's a big thing. Get all that together. Then get into, now I've got to self-explain myself again, all over again. And it's dating these days is a numbers game, so you're not going to do it once. You're not going to do it twice. You're not going to do it 10 times. You're not going to do it 25 times. You're going to be out there over and over and over and over and over and over again, because now, if you truly worked on yourself, the little red flags are now something that stops you from actually maybe even giving the right person the ability to come into your life. Why? Because you're still so guarded at the fact that it's so easy for a relationship to go poof into the wind because of cheating.
And then you think about it. Was it worth it?
And then
was it worth it?
It wasn't worth it. But what do you do to the next person? You automatically start off with trust issues because you
did it.
Think that they're going to cheat on you.
Because you did it to somebody else. So you're gonna toe the line and you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna jump right out. So instead of you saying, okay, well, I'm gonna try with this one female, well, let me get this one, and I put them all together, and I'll just pick out of the bucket. You know what I mean? I'll just pick out this group of females. And when you do that, you don't give nobody a chance. Nobody has a chance. Because if you think about it, Chris,
nobody will have a chance.
Nobody will have a chance because you're not even
so then
set in stone.
So then that means, in all honesty, if you find yourself in that predicament, you weren't single long enough.
Right.
Now let me ask you this, because this is something that always comes up, is you're in a relationship with your woman. You don't know that she's cheated on you at all, okay? You constantly are accusing her of cheating. Is that whole fairy tale saying of you obviously must be cheating because you're constantly blaming her, or vice versa, for cheating?
Right. You know what I can't stand?
Is that the human mind? Does that mean that I'm really doing it?
But you know another thing they like to say is that is a woman's intuition. That drives me fucking crazy.
And they got intuition. I've had gut feelings.
Right.
And for guys out there that have gut feelings, follow them.
I've had dreams. Like,
follow them.
Have you ever had those dreams that you wake up because you had to wait? Like, you're sitting there and you walk into a room and your old lady is getting beat down and everybody stops like, wait a minute, wait. You know what I mean? Then you wake up. I had that dream, right? I had it once. And I felt stupid afterwards because I woke up afterwards and said to her, and called her and said, "You cheating on me?" She said, "What?" I said, "You must be cheating on me." She said, "Why?" Because I had a dream. But I felt stupid afterwards because that was the same thing that mine was telling me. So it was that vice versa. It was the karma in this whole situation. You know what I mean? It was, oh, you're cheating as well. Because you know what, you got caught cheating, so every time you think something's going good, because that's the problem. That's when things go bad a lot of times. When you're sitting there, you're comfortable, and you think things are going good, and you don't realize it's a shitty situation.
The reason I looked over there right now is I wanted to see if my phone was in view. Okay, so it is. The entire time that I've been here, how's my phone been? Flipped up.
Flipped up, right.
I'm going to touch that right now because it is the
I
biggest
know
thing
what
that
you about to
pisses
do.
me
Go ahead,
off.
do it. I bet you won't do it. There it is.
What the is this? Why do you have to be? If you two are together and you two have absolutely nothing to hide, why the is your phone like this and not like this?
Well, so I'm glad you said that because I've heard a different rebuttal from that. So
you went there as your meal, your supper.
they say that if your phone's like this, you're inviting the call. Right? Listen. Let me finish before you go.
So I was invited to cheat.
Okay, let me fucking finish. Goddamn. So they say you're inviting the call. Say it's not even another female. But the man said to his woman, he said, yes, my phone's like this. It makes me feel like I'm inviting a call. But if I turn this upside down, you have my full attention.
No. So if we're gonna leave it on the table, this shows that if I am inviting a call, you can answer it, babe. If you want my full attention,
right? I get
put it in my pocket.
I get
now
that.
you got my full attention.
I get that, but that's what
But
they say.
let me tell you something. If both of you start the relationship out like this, and then all of a sudden later on in the relationship you switch it to where now you got it in your pocket or you got it like this, don't give me that line of crap that you're inviting the fucking phone. No, what you're doing is you don't want me to know that this little secret fling that you got going on.
So
your girls are gonna all of a sudden call you because they have a flat tire and you need to go help them, and now you're gonna go and
you ain't never changed a fucking tire in your life.
Me?
No, I'm talking about.
Oh shit, yeah.
I'm talking about the female. She ain't never changed a fucking
Bro,
tire.
I'm gonna tell
in
you
her
right
life.
now, that Apple iTag or whatever the hell they're called.
Oh man.
Bloop. I'm just kidding. The moment you got to resort to that too, bro. Relationships are over when you have to track your person.
You got to track the person.
Come on.
Now, if she sends you that because she wants to, that's a different story.
Turn your locations on.
Right.
Whenever y'all go to do separate things.
Yeah.
You're just reassuring that other person. It's not toxic.
No.
People are gonna. It's toxic now because these kids, the way that they're raised and the way that they're doing relationships, is all fucked up the way it is. I still have the way that I want a relationship to be. It's just like how my parents have it. It's like the old school shit. You know, the moment that we have to do whatever the fuck extra shit to be in a relationship, it's done.
You
But
know.
it's not toxic to turn on your location for each other. Like, let's say we tell our spouses, hey, me and Gavin are going to go out for a night. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to turn on my location for two reasons. One, you're going to know I'm safe. And two, it's going to reassure you that I love you no matter where I'm at.
Yep.
And you have every right to know where I'm at.
Right.
Because I decided to be in a relationship with you. I gave up that form of privacy so that you don't ever have to worry, am I doing something that is going to violate our relationship?
I'm gonna tell you this.
It's
Chris.
not toxic.
I'm gonna tell you this. And
People that
and
tell
I
you it's
mean
toxic is because they have to hide what they're
this.
doing.
Right. I'm gonna tell you this, Chris. Real shit. The best feeling in the world when it comes to this fucking, because this can be a deal fucking breaker in every relationship. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. This can be a fucking deal breaker. The best thing in the world is when you have your phone and you can do this and you can just scroll through it without her having to worry. You
Yep.
can just scroll through it,
Yep.
and you're not worried about.
Hey, stop it. I want to invite a call.
I'm sorry. There you go. But you know what? You can sit there and scroll through it together.
Yes.
I can sit here and say, you know what, babe? Look at that. Look at that.
And
Look at that.
obviously, I redact the two names of the two wives that I had because, you know, there's no reason to put their names out here. However, the second wife is the one I remember the most because
It's recent.
it was the most recent. Obviously, the one with the first one was many, many years ago, but her and I are real good friends. But when I was in front of the second one, which is the most recent one, regardless if I was doing this and something popped up, I was so open with her because I wanted her to trust me that whatever popped up, read it.
Yeah.
Look what it says.
Yeah.
And even if it said, "Oh, you're so handsome," I would go, "Man, that's so stupid." Not only would I go in there and swipe, delete, I would go in to the text message, open up the number, block Colin, or block whatever the hell it says. Because why? I'm in a committed relationship. I don't need nothing from the
let me ask
outside
you a question.
interfering.
Let me ask you a question. Did you unblock him when you were?
Damn right. I'm like, yo, my service was horrible back then. I just now upgraded my phone. I'm so sorry. I'm getting back at you now.
Right. There it is. There it is. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit that you sit there talking about. I see. Don't let Chris fool you sometimes. He'll sit there. He come off a certain way, but don't let him fool you. You know what I mean?
Why not go back to that? If obviously you ain't in a relationship
Right,
anymore.
if you're not in a
Hey, you
relationship
wanted me
anymore.
then. How about now?
Right.
I mean, I gained 30 pounds since then. But
Right. But you know what? The problem, the whole thing about relationships, when they're over, you learn from them. Let's talk about that a little
You're
bit.
supposed to learn from them,
talk
especially
about that.
especially if it's cheating. If you were the cheater, you need to learn what in the world in that relationship caused you to, one, not communicate, and two, to crush that woman's world by going out and cheating on her.
Right.
So when you leave that relationship, you need to learn everything about that relationship from beginning to end. Not only did it start, how did the middle go, and where did it start to fail?
Right.
And where it started to fail, you need to better yourself on. If you know that you're a cheater, stop bringing women into your life.
And that's what. And you know-
Continue being the single guy that goes out there and gets your one night stands or whatever the case may be, or be upfront as hell with the next person and say, look, the best thing for me to do with you is I have to be in an open relationship.
Right. Because I'm gonna tell you with my situation, Chris, I was a fucking scumbag. Listen, bro, I'm telling you right now,
You're gonna make me
one of
tear
them-
up. You're growing so
Right,
fast.
no, I told one that I was a fucking scumbag. I did that because one, I was unhappy. Two, because, a leopard doesn't change his spot. You know what I
No.
mean? He doesn't.
But if
So-
you were unhappy, and that's why I say learn from it. When you're unhappy, don't make everybody else unhappy.
Right, so I know
Leave.
now. I know now. I know if I'm unhappy, I'm hitting the road on you.
Yes.
I'm going to hit it on you. You're going to
Yep.
be sitting there talking about, oh, damn, blah, blah, blah. No,
Yes.
I don't like this no more. I got to get up. I got to go somewhere. I got to do something. And if you're not prepared to and that's what the beautiful thing about having your own shit is.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. I tell these guys all the time. They be like, what you mean, Gavin? When you have your own shit, you can get up and say, you know what, fuck this. I'm not dealing with this.
Yep.
I don't have to deal with this. This is not the requirement of this relationship. for
Now,
me to deal with.
now let me ask you this: you, sole breadwinner, you cheat, and because you're the sole breadwinner, mainly it's probably because you didn't want your spouse to work because you were making more enough money, whatever. The moment that you cheat, is it fair that she has to walk away, or would you let her walk away with nothing because she has no choice but to have to leave, and now she has no home, no car, whatever, because you had it all?
I don't do that now. I would never do that. I would never do that. Especially if the kids involved, I would never do that.
Yep.
I would never let her sit there and struggle. And you know why? And you know what I told her? I told her, I said, you was with me when I didn't have it, and you're with me now. You with me? I'm sorry.
We built it while we're together.
And now that we are apart, you're still gonna do it. I told her if I was even to win the lottery today, I would make sure that she was safe. I don't give a damn what the other female thinks about the whole situation.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure that household is completely safe.
Yep.
I do that now, and we're not together. We haven't been together in years. I do that now. If she calls me and says, Gavin, I need how much? All right, go check your cash app. Go check your Zelle.
I'm the exact same way with my first wife, even though, again, I'm going to repeat this. That split up was not due to cheating. Because
I like how you emphasize.
but you gotta stop. Our topic is about cheating. So
You emphasize it every time.
when you bring something up like that, that's exactly how I am with her. She doesn't have to go without, and she does, and vice versa. There's been times I've hit some rough spots, and I'm like, hey, can I borrow this or can I borrow that? She doesn't say no. She's quick to be like, boom.
And then the thing is like, and I tell you this is so funny because what she says to me sometimes is, hey, can I borrow blah blah blah? And I tell her, I said, you know what? I'd rather you not say borrow.
Yeah, because
You're not gonna give it back, and I expect you not to.
but this one does.
Mine's she'll
My
give
first
it
wife.
she'll give it back if she knows I need it. Because like I said, I still like. So we have 3 kids together, and they're still young. You know what I mean? I got a 14-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 6-year-old. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say 9, Jazz. I didn't mean to say 9, Jasmine. 8. I'm sorry, baby. You get up. My middle child gets upset when you get it wrong. My God, she gets.
She's a woman. She doesn't want to have no more extra years.
So, and for that, I know certain things like I pay for. I make sure they're taken care of every week. Like I take care of that, the karate, all that other stuff. If they say, "Daddy, I need," I make sure my 14-year-old gets her allowance every Friday. This is the stuff that you have to understand when you make that situation the way it is. You have to keep that household the same way it is.
And see, that's the problem with cheating. Because cheating is such a evil thing to do. You don't leave on good terms. You don't leave on whatever. The person that usually cheats is always spiteful or F that or F this. You're left with this and you're left with that. I want nothing to do with you. And then a lot of times that happens even with kids involved. And it's always F the kids or F that. You don't realize the damage you do when you cheat.
Bro, I'm gonna tell y'all something real personal. It's gonna blow your mind. So, quick story. So I was running the streets and I was working at Dreams. I was working there, and my wife, my ex-wife, always used to go to her sister's house for New Year's. So one New Year's is the year that we actually split apart. One New Year's, and I tell you, this hurt me to the soul. And it takes a lot to hurt me, because it takes a lot. I'm pretty good at dealing with a lot of bullshit.
If I stab you in the leg right now, you're gonna be hurt.
I'm gonna be pissed. But she came back early and moved all her shit out. Yes, moved all her shit out.
You brought back a memory.
She moved all her shit out on me. Chris, I didn't know anything. In my mindset, I would think that this woman would never do that, Chris. Ever, because I felt like I had her. And see, and what I do is, and what I do, and I hate that I do this, it's one of my worst traits, is that I take a relationship, right? And I sit there in my mind, I take it for granted, people. I'm like, she's never gonna do this to me. She's never gonna leave. She's gonna do what I tell her to do. She's gonna be here when I tell her to be here. And that's where I fucked up, because I came home from working all day, came home, everything was gone, Chris. And she left me one of them Dear John letters. And I tell you right now, Chris, I still have that letter today. So every time that I start getting to
my story's nowhere near the same. However, I did have an argument on the phone while I was at work, and she said, by the time you get home, I will be gone. The problem is, I only live 10 minutes, I work 10 minutes down the way. Before she made that phone call, she was already completely moved out, because she knew that I was going to leave work and go.
And she said the same thing.
She was gone. I didn't have no letter. I didn't have no nothing. It was that phone call that said, I will be gone. And then I was like, there was no more da-da-da-da, because I looked at my phone and it was back to the regular screen. That phone call was done. Never again did she answer my phone call after that. I emailed her one time. Who the fuck emails anybody? I emailed her one time and she sent me this whole spirit lady, wisdom fairy god, whatever. And I was like, I've never had anybody speak to me in some sort of like
Mystic tone.
hippie stuff. So I was like, you're right. We're done because I don't even know how to respond to that.
Bro, I remember when it happened, bro. I cried for days. I was emotionally because we just I can't say my daughter. My daughter was probably 1 or 2 when that happened, and she moved back. She moved in with her sister. She was gone for almost 3 years, bro. Almost 3 long years, and now like I said, she's back up here now, and I understand. You know what I mean? I know that there's nothing between us anymore.
Right.
So I don't try to go there and be like, hey, you know what? I don't do none of that. It's we co-parent perfectly.
Right.
We may get on each other's nerves. That's gonna happen. But we know now, okay, let me talk to you. Because in all actuality, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really have family down here. You know what I mean? So she is really still that part of my family that I have here. So when I need somebody to talk to, if I need this, I need that, I know I can say, hey man, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you may want to check. When I left the industry, she was the first person I called. She was the first person I called. And you can have somebody, and she was the first person I called. Because I knew since she's been with me from the get-go with a lot of this shit, I knew that talking to her would put me in the right mindset.
Right.
To say, you know what, you're right, Gavin, leave. You've done everything. You've had it. You've gotten every award. You're done.
Yep.
You can't do any. You can't do anymore. You can't win anything else.
Well, let's do this one last thing before we end up closing out this podcast. For the people out there that are currently cheating, if you seriously think that your partner does not know or will find out,
I knew he was going to say
you're a fucking fool.
You're an idiot.
Because there is no way to hide your facial features, your body language, what you change up from the norm. You don't understand how much 2 people that are in love with each other pick up on the dumbest of things. If you always set your lighter down like this, but one day you start doing it like this, they're going to ask you why.
Right.
So if you think you're getting away with it,
You're not.
awesome on you. You're the fucking fool. You're the one that's going to have to go through a lot of more breakups, and you're going to have to go and find yourself, rebuild yourself, and realize that you're not going to get away with it. It serves no purpose to cheat.
Serves none.
And if you think that the person you're cheating with is going to come to you and be faithful as hell, you are that much more dumb.
That's the crazy. Is that not the craziest shit, Chris?
Crazy as shit. The moment
Crazy
you
shit.
accept somebody you cheated with, that means they're cheating, or whatever the hell they're doing.
They know that you're cheating.
They're going, or they know you're cheating.
Yeah, because they know that you're cheating because they know you have somebody.
One of you two is going to exit the relationship the exact same way y'all made the relationship.
Right. So, and you know what's funny? Because mine said the same thing. You're going to lose her the same way you got her.
Exactly. So, if you know that, and now we do, but for the younger people or the people that just are oblivious to whatever situation they're in, if you think for any moment that it's not going to happen to you,
You're crazy as fuck.
you're nuts.
You're crazy as fuck. You're not even nuts. You're crazy as fuck.
Yeah. Because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
So, my biggest thing is communicate with everybody. And you don't have to be in a marriage to communicate. Communicating is the moment you tell somebody, hey, let's make it official, or whatever the hell y'all do. Be my girlfriend, whatever. Make yourself Facebook relationship. I don't know. The moment you give yourself to that one person,
The moment you...
That is when you start communicating and being faithful.
What do they say now? It's real when you change your Facebook status.
there you go. There you go. So, I mean, once all of that happens, cheating is no longer supposed to be an option.
Yeah.
But everybody, for some reason,
Makes
in
it wrong.
this society we're in now, and like you said,
Makes
Facebook, that makes it very easy to.
it makes it
Because, and you'll see it, anytime you're out with your spouse, let's say you have a beautiful woman, or you're a handsome ass man, the moment one of you two goes to the bathroom, that little home wrecker is right there. However, the moment that you give that home wrecker your number, you're just as bad as that person.
Right. Right.
You're ruining everything that person inside that bathroom has put their soul into to make y'all who y'all are.
Well, Okay, I think we covered a whole lot, Chris.
Well, we did.
We sure did. You got any closing remarks?
I don't.
Well-
I'm going to go out there and punch a tree.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go sit some fire ants or something. Well, I am Gavin the Bossman Stevenson,
And I'm Chris Cubano Cabrera.
and I want to tell you always: take care of yourself. Make sure you stay safe, and don't do nothing stupid.
Don't cheat.
It's not worth
Don't
it.
cheat.
It's not worth it.
Just fix it. Don't
Fix
cheat.
Once again, we are at the beautiful Cozy Lounge here in Largo. I'm gonna give you the address one more time. It's 198 West Bay Drive, the biggest humidor in Largo. Come down and see us. And always remember, you go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated.
God bless you
we're outta
guys.
here. All right.